gentlemen, this is your co-main event of the evening for the Cage Warriors Academy Southeast Featherweight title. Please welcome your first fighter of this bout into the cage, making the walk to the blue corner, Jimmy Fell.
My name's Jimmy Fell. I'm 4-1 in MMA and I'm fighting out of Blue Wave Martial Arts. The way I got into MMA was actually by accident. I came down to Blue Wave to do a bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I had some time off of boxing because of injuries. The biggest mental challenge for me is handling my own expectations. I'm a firm believer that I have to hold myself to a higher standard than everybody else. It's almost impossible to hold my own standards. If I have a bad day, I'm pissed off more than anybody. The way I want to be remembered is I was never the guy with the most natural ability. I was never the biggest or the strongest. I was the cleverest and I was the guy who never stopped working. I haven't yet met a challenge that I haven't been able to overcome. You know, I've lost fights because of mistakes I've made, not because I'm not good enough. In terms of things that we're working on specifically for George, of course we are. I'm not going to tell you what they are. But we approach every fight camp the same way. We study our opponent, how do we beat him, and then we implement that the best we can. Predictions for this fight, I'm going to sub him or knock him out. Hang on to that belt, George. I'm coming for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent, making the walk to the red corner. Introducing to you, Jorge Tanaka.
My name is Jorge Tanaka, and my record is 6-1, and I'm fighting for BKK Chelmsford. I'm been in MMA for 2 years half. Yeah, I'm doing wrestling for 11 years. I have 16 medals in national championship in Romania, Italy, and British. And yeah, I moved to MMA because it's more intense and more crazy. And I'm like to do this because I'm half crazy. Yeah, actually, about my opponent, you know, I'm watched some fight with him, and it's not bad. And I'm expecting him to try to take me down, but he don't have any chance because my wrestling is so good. I heard he wants to change the rules of the fight and to be 5 rounds. He thinks I can go 5 rounds. He's scared of my wrestling and he's not gonna get what he wants, and I go to smash him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our co-main event has stepped into the cage. Jimmy Fell, fighting out of the blue corner in the Venom trunks and the amazing chest tattoo. He's challenging BKK's Jorge Tanaka, the current featherweight and lightweight champion.
I have to make a correction. It's the George.
The George.
That's how he refers to himself now.
The George. Got it. Jimmy Fell, if he were any more relaxed, he'd be asleep. And George Tanasa, I'm looking forward to this one as well, Nick.
It should be a fun fight. Jimmy, he's got a ton of endurance. We've seen him quite a few times, so I think we have a fundamental idea of what to expect. He comes from a great team. George, you've got, crisp striking, and his wrestling is, kind of second to none really in the country right now at his weight class.
If there can be any criticism at all leveled at TANASA, it might be how's his cardio, but over 3 threes, it shouldn't be an issue.
And he gets the head and arm takedown to mount.
Fell, though, working hard. And gets himself out of dodge.
And the George, he had the takedown in his opponent's corner, and he might have just been like, you know what, I don't want to be over here with Fell's corner. George knows Fell's corner. Fell's corner knows George. Like, there's no...
George picking apart the inside of the leg. Just before that had landed a really nice left.
He's keeping his hands nice and high, which is good.
Beautiful, beautiful drop of level there.
Yeah, he just went right ducked under for that double, and again, right into mount. So constantly we're telling the guys, always finish in the most dominant position possible. And if you're getting doubles and landing in mount...
Yeah, you can't ask for much more, can you?
I don't know. We'll see if he gets stood up from mount.
Well, it's not quite full mount yet. Got a like 8th guard on here. And,
you happy
and
now?
Now we have full mount. Shots are coming through. And he gets up. Jimmy Fell is as tough as anyone I've ever seen.
Well, and Fell, the thing behind it was he baited the George in. George had that takedown, got that mount. And when he got that mount, Fell waited until George was a little bit too high, pushed off the cage, had him overextended.
Fell trying to pull his man down and slide round, but TANASA not having any of it.
And again, he's ended up in Fell's guard, which is very dangerous. Fell keeps throwing up arm bars, throwing up triangles.
And TANASA there got himself out of bad position. Bad, horrible throw.
I mean, it was an over-under, and Fell was already moving. And phenomenal job by Fell to bait the George into that exact position.
Strong hips, a great bridge, and a nice turn.
And he's going to finish this round on top.
Right in his corner. Let's see if last few seconds, if he can lands a little bit of ground and pound. But wow, if that's not going to keep George Tanasa honest, nothing is.
I mean, that's got to be one thing that's hopefully woke him up and said, hey, on these throws, on these takedowns, let's go hips to mat and let's actually finish the takedown. All right? We saw that in the Solita fight.
Yep.
Every takedown, she was looking at hitting the switch as it went.
And again, Jimmy Fell from day one has been asking this to be 5 threes because he thinks he sees a weakness in TANASA over the 4th and 5th round.
I mean, one of the only things is George, he's still a young fighter, and I think that's one of the things that people kind of look at is he's extraordinarily explosive. And because he's extraordinarily explosive, he's using a ton of energy.
Oh, wobbled, fell there with a strong left hand.
And again, he's in on that double. He's looking to pass. Now he's in his corner.
Into side control.
He's got crucifix position. But Fell's smart. He's using that wall correctly. See, what George needs to do is literally just lift Fell's head up and turn his entire body.
because as long as he's got his hips and soles of the feet against the cage, he's got something to push off and change position like that.
And attempt to roll through.
George strong, no.
Yes, but he put him right back in that same position. So this is what I'm saying. I understand what he's doing, but in order for it to be more effective, you want to have those feet away from the cage.
We just looking at a good old headlock here, yeah, because now he snuck out the back.
Yeah.
Thought for a moment Fell was going to take the back, but Tanasa wise to that.
Yeah, head and arm, and now he's given up the back on it.
And Fell's got a trying to get a hook in.
He's got one in.
Plenty of time left to work. 1 minute 38 left on that clock.
Yeah, George got to protect that chin and look to stand up.
Looking to put 2-on-1 now there.
The biggest thing is you want to just stand straight up, get your butt as high up in the air as possible. Let's see how high he's actually riding. Build up a tripod base. For Fell, it's continue to do this. Let's throw down punches, try to look to see if that neck opens up.
Does he want to flatten him out, or is he just happy throwing shots from here?
I mean, he could be happy throwing shots because look what happens. He was able to open it up to try to get that arm underneath the neck.
I think he's underneath. No.
Yeah. George was able to hand fight.
Still a minute left, though, and we've seen stoppages come quicker than this.
Exactly. And a lot of it has to do with watching the back of the head and making sure you don't put yourself in a bad position to where you're punching there. What George needs to worry about is getting his hips to the right position and going high. So what he wants to do is he's got to get his butt up in the air and he's got to start to move. They will stop this fight if he doesn't start moving.
Right now, all of those shots were hitting shoulder and arm. Nothing, but now he's flattened him out. And that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big shots. If we had another referee in here, this one was over. Yeah. No, without question.
This is true.
Jimmy Fell having to work perhaps that little bit harder, and great for TANASA as well, but we've seen stoppages from less than this. Great second round, 1 round apiece, everything to play for.
Hey,
and I think TANASA looking a little tired.
Well, it could be dejected as well. That's possibly a 10-8 round.
It was possibly a stoppage if the right referee.
But this is why I'm saying it's possibly a 10-8 round. So you got to look at it and go, okay.
Now, George, it's time to step up.
It's all about what has he got left in the gas tank. And this is kind of the test that I think Fell really wanted to put him to. Let's wear him out. Let's make him tired and see how he reacts. And now, is George still got 3 minutes in him to go hard? We're going to find out in about 15 seconds.
Absolutely, and you would imagine that Jimmy Fell's corner is saying, same again, please. Nice little atmosphere in here, brilliant crowd making some noise, and here we go. Fell working behind that jab.
And he met him out in the cage, so,
No intent there at all.
You know, it was a step in, and when he stepped in, he has a full 5 minutes to recover. Now, under most circumstances, I would say take the full 5 minutes. But if you think George is tired,
get
yourself
do you rush
up
as quick as you can. Yeah, that's the...
You know, and it was one of those things. He just looked over at George to see, okay, George has got his hands on his knees. I'm fine. I'm going to go.
Except just by the ginger, I mean, he's not walking like it's fine just yet.
Exactly, and that's just it. Does he rush it, and does that hurt him? The biggest thing is Fell needs to really think about, what do I want? To give George a break, or do I want to be 100% when I go out there?
Looks like he's saying, yeah, I'm ready to go. Time in. And here we go. Oh, and he's got, you know, when he works behind that straight right hand, he causes problems for George.
Exactly. And George's thing now is it a rush to the finish, or do I have what it takes to go the full 2 minutes and 26 seconds?
Oh!
So it'll be interesting. That was a hard shot by Fell.
But the George just ate it.
But the George is also showing that he's still got decent head movement. Missed 2 shots right there because of his head movement. He was moving around, so his head's still on a swivel.
I'm guessing now he's just waiting for the right time to look for that level change.
Or it could have been one of those things where Jack said, hey, that could have been a 10-8 round, so you need to go in there and finish it.
Staggered his net for a moment.
Not a good sign when you're looking up at the clock.
No, in a 3-minute round. First minute gone, probably about, about a minute 45 left.
Okay, that was a hard body shot.
And now he's in on the takedown attempt. And Fell doing everything to keep his back to that cage and not to the mat.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's almost one of those things where you're having such success with sweeping him. Do you maybe just let the momentum of the takedown take you down and then go with it?
Oh, nice knee to the body, and now it's Fell looking to take the single leg. Pulling the George down to the mat.
And he's got that takedown.
Secures it with 1:09 left, and George took a long look up at the clock.
Yeah, and at a minute left, George, if he doesn't get up and get out of here, he's got an opportunity to lose this round.
Stepping over now. Beautiful.
Good hip work there. He's got a tight head and arm. He's got to slip out the back door, so George has to work his way up.
And on the back again.
Now, George is smart, though, because this time he's got half of his back up against the cage. He needs to not roll like that.
Well,
he's got to swim.
Now Fell trying to get that second hook. You're going to see if he's going to try and pull him onto the back.
But George now, because he's flattened out, he can actually turn those hips, swim through, and get to a dominant position. But with 20 seconds left, I don't know if he's going to be able to do enough to get out of this.
Fell working from the back, trying very hard to land a few shots. I don't think he's going to be able to slip that arm under the chin at all, but...
Finish on top and finish throwing punches.
Absolutely, there's the roll.
And that right there is the last thing the judges see.
Well, another 3-round war here for a Cage Warriors Academy Southeast title. Jorge Tanaka, Jimmy Fell. Do we have a new champ? We'll find out in a moment. Just body language from the two fighters tells me a story. George looking a little dejected. Give a quick shout out to Whip Street Motors, Scrap Metal and Vehicle Recycling.
Fisk Fire Group.
Riva, wood fire pizza for any occasion.
And don't forget, you can reach your peak by going to www.ryofficial.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action, we go to your judges' scorecards, where we bring you your winner by way of unanimous decision. And the Cage Warriors Academy Southeast Featherweight Champion in the blue corner, Jimmy